Okay, I'm ready. Go ahead.
So, Zach, what are you eating there?
I am eating Armour Vienna sausages, bourbon barbecue, flavored sauce. A wonderful treat with only 10 grams of fat in every little sausage and sodium of 770 milligrams.
I don't think the sausage people would like you mentioning how much sodium's in that.
You are totally the biggest mark. And I have half the brains that you do.
Hulk Hogan, you can go to hell. And all these people are a bunch of stinking bums, aren't you?
Reigning United States heavyweight champion Bret Hitman Clark.
If you buy a case of Vienna sausages, I think they give you a free gun to blow your brains out with. Yeah. Because that's the next step.
If the folks at Armour are listening to this...
yeah, brand deal with Armour fake meat products.
Yeah,
well, Nitro Party podcast brought to you by Armour Vienna sausages.
Send us a case. I'm sure we can come up with some more favorable things to say.
Yeah.
So, hey everybody, let's watch some wrestling. It's late to the Nitro Party. So, Grant, Zach, how we doing?
Oh, I'm good.
Got my sausages, got my yoo-hoo. I'm doing all right.
You probably have like a leaky lower intestine after.
Well, I just farted. It smelled like death. So.
Grant, you everything going okay over there?
I'm eating grilled chicken, so.
You're eating grilled chicken.
So
man.
you're healthy.
I mean, I'm not, but right now it sounds like I might be.
You didn't say it was covered in chocolate sauce.
Comparatively, you're doing pretty good.
Well, I mean, I like to cook it in that Vienna sausage juice, the leftover stuff. You just go down to the plant. You go down to the plant with a bottle. They'll refill that thing.
Did anybody drink hot dog juice as a kid?
No, that's. I eat Vienna sausage for some reason. I don't like hot dog juice.
That was a thing for a while, and it's disgusting. But I don't know. So, hey, we're going to be watching WCW Monday Nitro from October 30th, 1995, from the Hara Arena in Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, the Hara. Go ahead.
You shut the hell up. Attendance to this show was 3,500, so not very many people. 2,500 which paid, so pretty low attendance. So this is going to be the Nitro immediately after Halloween Havoc 95, and with a rundown of the card for Halloween Havoc 95 is Grant. Take it away.
I was drunk when I watched it.
What were you drinking?
Chivas Regal.
Oh, God.
What? Dennis?
Chivas Regal. Scotch.
Oh, okay.
That's Ric Flair approved, right?
You know, and actually, for those of you who haven't heard it, quick sidebar, there's a pretty good tape of Alabama state legislature talking about whether or not they want to make it legal for people to brew their own beer. And I reference this because one of the greatest quotes by a legislator ever, a guy who's opposed to it, states that when he drinks Chivas Regal. And Chivas Regal has a stamp on it that, and I quote, say it's good for you. And so, yeah.
Huh.
Drink Chivas Regal.
Drink Chivas Regal.
The good folks at Chivas are looking for a brand deal. Call us up.
If you haven't got the hint, we need sponsors. We will literally do anything.
Brought to you by Vienna Sausages and Scotch.
Chivas Regal. Chivas Regal and Vienna Sausages bring you relate to the Nitro Party.
So, Halloween Havoc.
So, Havoc 95, good show. I'm sure, I don't know, you dig up some stuff on the internet, they'll tell you it's a turd. I think that's because when you eat filet mignon and drink cognac and follow it up with, you know, actual human shit for dessert,
with a Pop-Tart.
it leaves that taste of feces in your mouth, and that's kind of what comes out on the review.
All right, I'll shut up.
Opens up Eddie Guerrero, Disco Inferno, both good workers. You know, no complaints there. Great opening match. Both of them kind of been getting a push on Nitro. Eddie wins, clean pin. Like I said, good match. Both guys can work. We get to see a little Paul Orndorff action. He defeats the Renegade. The Renegade. He's still alive at this point.
Why was that match on the card? That just seems random.
We're both under contract, I'm sure.
Filler. They just had to fill time.
Benoit and Malenko over Steven Regal and Earl Robert Eaton, the Blue Bloods. Again, couple.
That's beautiful, Bobby Eaton. That for people who don't.
Yeah. Good technical match for guys who can work it. And then Craig Pittman, VK Wall Street. He beat him clean. I believe those first 4 matches. I believe those are dark matches. I believe the show opens with Johnny B. Bad over Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah, it's TV title match.
Right? TV title match. They got a good build to this, building up a decent storyline, decent heat. Good match. I know these guys will work again on pay-per-view here not very long from this one, and that's probably the best match in their series, but this is a good one. 2 guys that can work the crowd. No complaints there. Randy Savage defeated the Zodiac, and rightfully so.
That was a pretty quick match.
That was a squash match. This is if Randy Savage and Luger both win, they wrestle later. So Savage.
I think that match was originally billed as Savage versus Kamala, but Kamala was on a per appearance basis, and he didn't want to work it, so they put in Ed Leslie.
Kurosawa beats Hawk. That was about a 3-minute match, pretty quick. Same thing, Sabu versus Mr. JL. It's like 3.5 minutes of just partial insanity. Lex Luger over Meng in a match that takes forever. It's like a 15-minute match. It's not necessary. I believe in that one. That's a DQ.
That's the weird one where Sullivan
kicks Meng. Meng's about to win the match. He's got him pinned, and Sullivan kicks him off.
Yeah. That was a really weird finish.
Sting and Flair over Pillman and Arn Anderson officially, but Flair makes the turn.
So
we need to talk about that.
Yeah, explain that to us. What happened?
Jesus, sorry.
Flair makes a turn. Open your ears. Open your goddamn ears. Open your bitch ass ears.
Flair used to be part of this thing called the Horseman, and I guess they were getting that back together. So, I don't know.
So
are you telling me that the Horsemen are having a party? Where are we at?
Well, Halloween Havoc was in Detroit. So here's my question.
I believe Flair comes out late. I believe Sting comes out.
So he pulls a Sting from.
He fights off both of them. Flair comes out wearing his dress pants. He's on the apron in what would be later classic Ric Flair, half naked, wearing street clothes, wrestling a match. Sting gets worked over forever. Finally gets the hot tag on Flair. Flair comes in, goes after, I believe, Anderson, and then turns and just waffles Sting in the corner.
So, here's my question on this, and this episode's going to go a little long.
Yeah, this is a long intro.
We're running down.
We're covering Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, it's fine. Over the past couple weeks, we've seen this. The Horsemen are kind of disbanded. Flair is feuding with Arn Anderson and Brian.
Okay, pause for a second. Grant, we can hear ourselves.
You shouldn't be able to. I'm literally, the phone is up to my ear. I'm talking into the mouth hole, and the ear hole is against my ear.
I'm saying we can hear ourselves.
Well, edit that part out.
We can still hear ourselves.
If you can hear yourself, it's on your end.
Okay. Maybe we should just move back a little bit.
I'm hearing
hear
Clay
Yeah.
on your audio. Clay can hear it too.
Yeah, I can hear it.
I'm literally talking on the phone right now.
Okay, let's just keep going. It's not a big deal. We're not a professional podcast.
As Mean Gene would say. All right, edit that part out. And then edit that out.
I can't edit all this out. Just keep going, okay?
Okay. Hey, so, what the fuck was I talking about? Horseman, Pillman, Anderson, Flair, Sting, shenanigans. So, we've been seeing these matches, and my argument is going to be that this angle destroys kayfabe. And the reason why is, Flair has been having a series of matches with Anderson and Pillman over the last couple of weeks. So if all this was just a ploy to dupe Sting and to get the Horseman back together, would it be fair to argue that those matches were worked?
Heenan actually brings that up on the pay-per-view after the whole thing, when the match is kind of closing up and the announcers are talking. It's him and by the way, we get Shivani for the first time in the announce booth, at least since Nitro started. So that's a super nice upgrade from
beats the hell out of Eric Bischoff.
From Bischoff and No Mom.
So who is the announce team? Shivani, Heenan, and who?
It was just
Shivani and Heenan. And Shivani at this time is a damn good announcer.
He always was. He just got
right.
I don't know.
I think he is up through about mid '98, late '98. But anyhow, no, Heenan brings that up. He says, "Well, does that mean all those matches? You know, when they were wrestling, does that mean that was all part of the, part of the scheme too?" And Shivani says, "I don't know. I guess it must have been."
So Shivani admits that let's pretend wrestling's real for a second.
Right.
That means that those matches were worked.
Right.
So that angle destroys kayfabe.
And it's all kind of pointless. Like, they don't kill Sting. It's not, we finally got him. Let's string him up.
Beat it. Yeah, and there hadn't even been heat with Sting and them guys recently.
Right.
So what the hell? Why do it?
Again, if Macho Man is your commissioner, it all makes sense.
Right. Or, I don't know, a 12-year-old is your commissioner. It would make sense.
The whole Heenan thing, it's kind of like, it's scripted. He was told to talk about matches being a work, which in itself is a work. So he's talking about, talking about matches being a work by making it sound like it's real.
But everything else is a shoot, quote unquote.
You took the red pill, didn't you?
But yeah, that's one of those Matrix things.
Don't think too hard about it. It's pro wrestling. It's not, science here. So, Okay, continue down the card. What else we got?
Then we've got monster truck shenanigans. They bring in the builder, and I'm kicking myself for not remembering his name, but I believe he's the same guy who's in charge of the Bigfoot team.
They bring in the monster truck expert guy.
He does an awesome job, selling this. Half of the shit coming out of his mouth is made up. The fact that they're setting off pyro on the roof could explode the trucks because they run on alcohol. Well, if the fucking tanks are made out of paper mache, yeah, but those heavy plastic tanks they use in racing are typically safe from shitty fireworks. But anyhow, he does a really good job. I'm sure they told him this is the storyline, stick to it, and he does good. It's 5 minutes and it doesn't make any sense from an automotive standpoint.
It's so boring too.
It is boring, and the hell? Had they just it doesn't make sense. If you know anything about cars, if you know anything about motorsports, the whole thing doesn't make any fucking sense. So there's that, and then the Giant and Hogan are grappling on the ledge of the roof, and the Giant falls off, and Hogan feels bad and
imminent
death. To his apparent death.
Right. And to his credit again, I can't say enough about the announce team on this compared to what we've had on Nitro. Heenan really doing a good job selling that, he was Andre's manager, and he's got ties to the Giant, and he could be dead, he could be hurt. He wants to know what happens. At some point, he's calling members of the production team incompetent for not finding something out.
Basically, Jesus Christ, someone just died while you're sitting here talking about wrestling.
Shivani, doing a good job playing the other side, saying, "Hey, the show's going on. We got a job to do. I know this crazy thing happened. As soon as we know something, good job on them. For saving a stupid storyline."
Honestly, it happened in real life with Owen. When Owen literally fell to his death, they went on with the show.
Yeah, that's a big controversy. I mean, we're not going to talk about that because that's another.
If you're listening to this, you know all about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a downer, but yeah, I mean, if this is the whole sort of work shoot thing where if you think too hard about it, you'll give yourself brain bubbles, but.
Why am I bleeding?
If this guy actually did fall off the roof, they're probably not I mean, maybe they do. Like I said,
that's what I'm saying. They
Vince
might.
did it, but who knows?
So after that, we've got Savage beating Luger. Nothing fantastic there. Those guys work a lot together. I don't think they're two good guys to put in a match against each other. I don't think they complement each other at all. Lex Luger's a lot better in either a squash match or, against another power guy.
That match was really, really quick too.
Like a 5-minute match.
They had both wrestled earlier in the night, so they're probably a little blowed up. Maybe I don't know, but
decent match, good performance by Savage. Luger does the Luger thing. And then we've got, I was, always happy to hear the Lex Luger music. The Giant beats Hogan by DQ when Jimmy Hart interferes and turns on Hogan. Shenanigans ensue, and then the Yeti makes his way to the ring. And the Giant's, he's bear hugging Hogan, but he's like not.
Bear hug.
Hogan's huge, so instead of like a good, like, bear hugging a midget type image that you get, it's just two guys hugging in the ring. And then the Yeti comes in, and instead of like punching Hogan in the back of the head, which would look like a thing, he just wraps them both up and starts humping him. And I don't know if there's like a good animated GIF of that, but if there is,
it looks so bad.
It's a mummy humping a barbarian and a bald guy, and I'm not really sure why you would do that. Like, Dennis Rodman is a better wrestler than that.
Yeah. He doesn't even hug Hogan. He puts his arms all the way around Hogan and onto the Giant, so there's like no leverage being applied whatsoever.
And he just humps him. I don't understand. I don't know why. Yeah. This is the big reveal. This is what we've burned all that TV time with the promos for, with everything else. And it ends up being a half-ass monster truck match and just a mummy humping a guy.
This is when your 10-year-old self who's sitting in front of the TV because your mom just let you buy Halloween Havoc, you turn it over to your mom and you say, "Mommy, is this how babies are made?"
Yeah. Well,
this is the stuff where I turn to my mom and I'm like, that probably wasn't a good investment on your part.
Sorry, Mom. Sorry for making you waste.
I'm marking out as a kid. As a kid, I'm marking out because I'm supposed to, but in the back of my head, I'm thinking this doesn't seem quite right.
Yeah.
So that's Havoc. Like I said, take out the Hogan and the Dungeon of Doom part, and you've got a good show. Sting, if that didn't exist, the Sting and Flair tag match would have been a great way to end the show. Your big company guy getting screwed over by your other big company guy, and the Horseman coming back, and
But that would have involved Hogan, so that would have been a contract dispute.
But yeah, we burned, I don't know, like 19 minutes on the Hogan stuff between the monster truck match and the main event. And then, at least 50% of the card was good wrestlers who were paying their dues, putting on good matches, not getting their matches called because we've got to talk about this shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's Halloween Havoc. Go check it out if you haven't already. It's historic, I guess, sort of for the wrong reasons, but it's out there.
By definition, it is historic.
So, all right, everybody. So we're going to be talking about the Nitro directly after Halloween Havoc. So pull up your episode on the network. It's going to be from October 30th, 1995, and press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
I counted the stripes on that American flag the other day to make sure it was a regulation.
Oh. And?
It looked a little off, but it was right. That
it was just bent, wasn't it?
The stoplight, on the other hand, only has 2 bulbs, so...
Huh. So it's like a really old stoplight.
I guess so. I don't know.
Was there no yellow lights?
I don't think there was a yellow light. Well, we don't get to see the lights. It's just explosion, but... I don't know. I don't know why I'm dissecting the fake Nitro set town.
We talked about the attendance of this show being pretty small, only 3,500. A lot of empty seats out there.
Where's that again?
The Hera Arena in Dayton, Ohio.
As in Hera Casino?
No, like Hara, Hara.
Oh, okay. Anyways, there is Mongo with his dog, who is dressed as a witch.
As a witch. This is the night before Halloween. So Bischoff is teasing that he has footage from Halloween Havoc that will be shown later in the show. So that's good. We at least get to see that.
I think he says that they don't have it yet. They're working on it. And I want to know what kind of production
they had
company...
to actually get 2 VCRs out.
For $1 million business, recorded this thing last night and can't produce a tape. What's on Heenan's tie there?
I don't know. I just now noticed that. It looks like somebody threw up on it.
Looks like Voltron.
I don't know. Kind of looks like a soccer player. And
people in the comments, put your comments on what you think it looks like.
I think that's like Yellow Submarine or something.
I'd like to get a discussion going on this, and that stupid dog.
Dog.
Yeah, we'll see. Randy Savage was supposed to wrestle tonight, but he was injured from Halloween Havoc, and he's going to be replaced in the first match by Eddie Guerrero.
The placement of their announcer stand's different. They're like right in front of the ring, but like a little bit further back in the crowd.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of arena this is.
I don't know. I couldn't tell. It didn't look like a hockey. Last couple have been in hockey arenas. So we get Sergeant Craig Pittman here, who actually gets pretty decent pyro.
Yeah, he does.
I don't know much about this guy.
I really don't either. I mean,
Is he just a WCW?
He's just a guy.
Never went on to do anything.
He has a legitimate background with the Marine Corps, obviously. He's wearing a bandolier, which, if you look closely, are blanks. So those aren't real.
The fact that he's got bullets lets you know he's serious about wrestling. Yeah. Though that's for people that don't know a lot about him. They say, "Who's this Pittman guy? I heard his entrance music. His music doesn't explain who he is. What's his deal?" And then you look and you see the bullets, and you say, "Oh, he must be some sort of militant."
Well, he's also wearing the drill sergeant hat and a tank top that says USMC on it. So it's pretty obvious what his gimmick is. He's a military guy. So Eddie finally gets his music changed. This is the second iteration of his music. He started out his first couple matches. He was actually using the music that would later be used by La Parka.
Huh.
Yes.
So
the chairman.
Kind of excited to see La Parka here in the coming.
I'm wearing a La Parka mask right now. I wear a different luchador mask every broadcast.
So we get Eddie Guerrero versus Sergeant Craig Pittman. As I said, this was supposed to be Randy Savage, but he's hurt from Halloween Havoc, so we get Eddie Guerrero. This match, Eddie Guerrero's usually, you can't go wrong with him. This match, they just kind of don't ever seem to get on the same page with it. They just seem to get lost occasionally.
I don't know much about.
Oh, I would real quick like to jump in, and I've been keeping track of these. Nitro did a 2-5, Raw did a 2-2, so WCW wins the Monday Night War tonight on this one that we're watching now.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to start keeping track of that.
It was pretty back and forth at this point.
Yeah, no, and that's a pretty close.
They win, like, what is it, like 80-some weeks in a row eventually now?
Does anybody know, like, what kind of ratings Raw is pulling, like, today? Like, now?
4s, 2s, 3s, low.
Yeah.
I'd say 2s, honestly. The highest rated wrestling program ever was... It was a Raw in 99, and it got like an 8-something.
Yeah.
Can't remember exactly what happened, but...
Main events would pull like a 13 every once in a while.
Right, because
on a good night.
ABC, yeah.
Well, I was reading up about some old wrestling, and back when there was just, ABC and NBC.
Right.
Whatever wrestling show, even like local shows would pull like 40s.
Right.
Like, it was either that or something else, it was, you only had 2 choices of what to watch back then.
It's that or hee-haw.
That or hee-haw. No, we're talking like in the 50s and 60s.
Whatever came before hee-haw.
Lawrence Welk Show. So we'll see in this match, they kind of start off working sort of an amateur type style, which is sort of Pittman's background. They say, he wrestled in the Marine Corps, a lot of amateur type moves. So this is Bischoff right there. Just plugged the next pay-per-view, which is going to be World War III. The first time we see the 3-ring 60-man battle royal.
Very much a gimmick thing.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous. Like, there's so much filler. You see guys come out, and it's just like, who in the world is that?
The only good thing about that is just getting to see all these different people that you
and it's good because later on, 98 or so, WCW's roster is so big.
Yeah.
And they say go, and you just see the Giant just throw 40 luchadors out of the ring, like right at the start. They get good at it. They get better at it as time goes on.
Well, there was only, let's see, 95, 96, 97, 98. I think 99 or 2000 they didn't do it anymore.
It was only like maybe 4 years, I think. The crowd is really dead for this match too. Like that served no purpose. That was horrible. Kind of went for a roll up, but just sort of slung him to the ground.
Just what you do on the playground.
Bad booking, I think.
What's that?
Said that's just a move you do on the playground.
Yeah, it's just
Eddie Savage would have been a good.
Yeah.
Would have been a good match.
The crowd's just really dead for this.
The Hogan guy's there.
Yeah. There you go.
In the crowd.
The Hulk Hogan.
The look-alike super fan.
Guy. Super fan. One thing I'll say about Eddie, like with his ring gear when he comes out, I miss ring jackets.
Yeah.
Like Arn Anderson would have, like...
a vest.
Nice belly-to-belly from Pittman. That looked nice.
Pittman should be... Go ahead.
There's a tag team in NXT called The Revival, and they remind me of Tully and Arn.
Yeah.
Like, they come out in ring jackets, and they just suplex people.
Yep. I don't know, just kind of a side note. NXT, I'd almost rather watch that than Raw.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, it's getting good. Like, it's old school type of wrestling.
There is a lot of good
wrestling.
stuff.
It's a wrestling show. It's not an entertainment show. I mean, there's stupid gimmicks and stuff too on that, just because it's under the umbrella of that. But it's got some good stuff on there.
Comedy pratfall bump for Pittman after getting kicked in the tailbone.
Pittman should be wrestling Buddy Lee Parker on the opening match of Saturday night.
Yeah.
Like, that's the guy you put him against.
He just really doesn't gel with Guerrero whatsoever. Nice cross body, though. I mean, Eddie can put on a good match with damn near anybody, but for some reason, this just doesn't seem to gel very well.
It's like two guys having a conversation, but they're both having a different conversation. Like that.
Right. Mm-hmm. Nice gut-wrench suplex there from Pittman.
As Clay picks his wedgie.
Hey, shut the hell up.
That's what the Marines do, That's how we won Desert Storm so quick. Gut-wrench suplexes, yeah.
Nice roll up there from Eddie, and he's going to get the 3 with it. So, go home, sunset flip, get the hell out of there.
I don't blame any of these, I guess you call them the radicals, for jumping ship when they did, because they were pushed like crazy, knowing they'd never get past like mid-card, but they were the hardest working guys in the company for years. They took more beatings than anybody, and you could argue they were more over than a lot of the card, but they just weren't ever going to get above upper mid-carders.
Yeah. And with a lot of the, we get some occasionally, this match was okay. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
We get some occasional bad matches, but what do we have going on Raw at the same time? Is it, what? The Brooklyn Brawler versus Louis Spicoli? Is that what they're putting on?
It's 95, so you probably have a lot of wrestlers that work other jobs, like garbage men and plumbers and things of that nature.
Complain about Nitro all you want, but, Butch Miller versus Barry Horowitz isn't exactly setting the place on fire over on Raw.
This is actually footage from 9/11, September 11th.
1995.
1995.
So
this is what people are actually referring to when they say 9/11. By the way,
this
the day that shark fell on Scott Norton's legs.
So that match with Guerrero and Pittman was really dead for most of it. Why do we get a build up to this? All right, never mind. That match was really dead, but when Eddie wins, the crowd does pop.
Yeah.
So
they're happy it's over.
Know. I guess.
Did anyone notice in that backstage brawl the Zodiac go to punch someone about 5 times and then just stop?
Yeah, he sort of wasn't really into it.
Well, Flair did a podcast for WrestleMania 8, I believe, kind of the same way he did Rumble 92.
Right.
Did you listen to that?
No, I'll have to. That's WrestleMania 8 it's sort of like you talked about the Halloween Havoc. Look, I'm not comparing WrestleMania 8 to Halloween Havoc 95, but the undercard of that is really good. First of all, you get the actual main event of the show is on the undercard, which is Flair Savage for the title. You also get Piper Hart, which is a phenomenal match. Look, there's some other ones too that aren't so great, but the main event, like Hogan Sid, it's so dead, like nobody cares.
It could have been Hogan Typhoon.
It wasn't supposed to be Fred Ott, Tugboat.
Yeah, it was Tugboat. That's right, Tugboat, not Typhoon. Tugboat.
So 2 big old hosses going at it here with Shark and Scott Norton. Wonder how long this is going to take.
Yeah,
Norton
Norton
stole those trunks from Kurt Hennig.
Yeah, he does. He has the Mr. Perfect trunks.
Oh,
nice
man.
belly from Shark.
Henning's going to be pissed when he gets those back and they're all stretched out.
There's probably not going to be a whole lot of flying head scissors in this match.
Yeah, no hurricanranas in this one.
Norton was big in Japan, right?
Oh, yeah.
He was huge in Japan.
He's over big. He's big, strong Americans. They love him over there.
He actually is coming from Japan at this point where he was huge, and once WCW goes under, he goes back, and he's still huge.
And probably just making boatloads of money.
Yeah.
One of the things because Hall does a tour over there, one of the things Hall talks about when he does Last Call with Scott Hall on a couple of those, he talks about how much he liked going to Japan because there were no politics. He said there were with the Japanese wrestlers, but if you were an American over there, even with other Americans, no one cared. You worked, you got paid. Who gives a shit?
Mm-hmm.
And
nice.
And the Yakuza gives you Japanese girls and
oh, you're well taken care of.
Drugs of choice and whatever.
If you can survive the training, you're well taken care of. I mean, they're going to try to kill you in the dojo, but
Norton can move, man.
Oh, he's very, very fast for a guy his size. He actually, I don't know if you saw it, that nice scoop slam on Tenna.
Yeah.
I mean, Norton picks him right the hell up and slams him. I mean, that's some strength. I don't think Tenna's quite as big as he was in his Earthquake days. No, he looks a little slimmed down.
What?
So we get a shot of Bobby
Sonny
Heenan
Ono?
talking to Sonny Ono and assorted girls behind him. I don't know where they got them from.
Swing. What?
Zach with the
Wayne's
period
World came out in
correct.
95.
Yeah, no, that's the period correct response.
Wayne's 2.
What'd you say?
Wayne's World 2 came out in 95. Swing. So you take the brown M&Ms and then you swing. Anyways. Pop culture references that mean
that
nothing.
Wayne's World 2?
Wayne's World 2.
Del Preston?
They get Del Preston from exactly London, England.
I had to beat him to death with his own shoes.
Who's that old lady? That's me old lady.
Oh, my God.
That shark has blood coming out of its mouth.
Yeah, that's his Hyper Studio clip art trunks.
I know.
We get the
good
double count out schmaz. Yeah, we kind of knew this match wasn't going to go too long. You know, both guys still look strong. Nobody has to job. It just turns into a brawl, and they both get counted out.
They're just actually punching each other.
Bischoff will say, as he runs Shark's head into the set, that's solid steel. No, it isn't. That's aluminum at best.
Yeah, no, that's diamond plate aluminum. Assuming it's actual metal, it's just welded. It's a thin, 14, 16 gauge.
It's just like that. You can get that 3D like diamond plate wallpaper.
Right.
I mean, it's just like a sticker on plastic.
Is that what you have in your bedroom? You got the
in my bedroom?
Yeah, you got the whole thing wallpapered 3D diamond plate, don't you?
I wish. I will someday. My new house will all be 3D diamond print.
Perfect. Perfect.
So I'm not sure where this angle is going. I'm sure Sonny Ono is getting ready to bring in some Japanese talent. I'm not sure who yet.
I guarantee all that sushi goes to waste.
Yeah. It's probably made out of plastic.
It's
anyway.
not real. It's like this, like oranges you can get to put on your table. No, he's gonna eat one.
Nope.
No,
he won't.
He's gonna act like he is.
Classic Keenan.
Classy guy.
So we get our first look at Tony Schiavone on Nitro. He's going to do an interview here.
Schiavone at this point just worked for Turner Broadcasting prior to being brought in for WCW. Is that?
I think he did Atlanta Braves radio for a while.
He was NWA before there was even Ted Turner involved.
He was an announcer or an interviewer for Crockett Promotions.
Right.
I know.
He actually, he's been around since like '84. Probably,
yeah.
Schiavone, he was around for a while.
Which he worked for WWF for a while,
like 8 months or something like that. He did a pay-per-view or two.
Him and Ventura announced, I believe it was Royal Rumble '90,
something like that.
Schiavone, I want to say, announces the Coal Miners Glove match as well in WCW.
That would have been Havoc '92,
yeah.
I believe. Jake Roberts, right?
Yeah.
So we get a rundown of the match, and it just cut to them putting the boots to Sting. That's awesome. Sting will just never learn. He's the most trusting guy in wrestling, and for that, he gets turned on constantly.
This is kind of a weird observation, but with Flair's matches, like, he does the same thing a lot. By seeing these pictures, I know exactly what happened in that match.
Yeah.
Just by seeing these pictures. Like the action poses.
Yep.
I know what happened before and after he did that.
You get the idea.
Flair, even at this point, for, people that are younger than us and, even our age, if you hadn't been watching for a long time, Flair, of course, from right now, from this episode, goes on to wrestle another, 20 years. But, at the time, there was talk Flair's getting old, he needs to get out of the business anytime.
Yeah, who would know that he'd go on to wrestle still, whenever.
But, at this time, and then that just, it made me think of that with Flair does a lot of the same thing. That's because at this point he's been around forever. He's almost, taking a victory lap being involved in wrestling at this point.
Like he does the same thing like it gets old. Like he does the same thing perfectly.
No, and that's you're exactly right. But, it's at this point he's been around forever, and even when he turns heel, this is the early days of him getting pop, for doing heel things just because people are so familiar with him.
Yeah, let's catch a little bit of this.
There's something to be said for aviator sunglasses, penny loafers, and pleated slacks. So, they're reforming the Horseman.
Who's the Force Horseman?
We're going to find out, not this week, though, but we'll find out. You can see.
I love this from Anderson. This is great. Listen to this. He just got the crap kicked out of him for 10 minutes, by the way.
Huh.
I don't think physics, really.
What is Pillman doing?
He's nuts. And Flair knows
it. Here we
go.
Here's the good part. Oh, it's not. I must have been thinking of something else. I know at some point, maybe it's the last time we get an Anderson interview, but
Flair is just losing his mind. Hold on.
Shivani's trying not to laugh back there. Anyways.
So what were you saying about Double A?
I know at some point Anderson gives an interview where, and it might even be at Havoc, where, if you want to know who's the fourth guy or what's going to happen, well, I'm going to tell you. But not this week. I'll tell you next week.
For no reason.
For no reason.
Oh, man. Flair and Anderson. Boy, I wonder who's going to win that match.
Okay.
The Renegades.
I think it's the Renegades' time.
So that interview, that segment we just saw, makes me want to watch that Nitro from '98 where Flair returns so bad right now.
Flair cuts a 45-second promo right there, and it's like, yes, that's wrestling.
Yeah.
Abuse of power.
Don't give it away.
Fire. I love that. That's my
so
Sabu.
Sabu's not left yet. He's still with the company. He's acting like he's going to attack Pinzer
for no reason.
Good evil reference.
Next week, Bischoff tells us that the fans get to vote on who wrestles each other on next week's Nitro. So we'll get to see how that turns out.
How did they vote back then? Was it over
Fax?
the phone?
you had to call in. Why does Disco Inferno get such badass pyro?
They're pushing Inferno.
Dude,
he hasn't won a match yet.
His gimmick's awesome. Like, I hated him back in the day, but now, like, that I know better, like, he's hilarious. His gimmick's great.
I wish that they actually let the fans pick, and the fans just screwed the company over. Like, all right, main event, the Yeti versus
David Arquette, world champ. Make it happen. God. If I were Bischoff, that's what I would have said. Nope, we're doing a all-fan vote booking committee.
Hogan in a handicap match versus like 5 people.
This is a cool little spot here where Disco kind of outsmarts him for a little while. Because, he's a dumb foreigner.
Some tight pants.
Yeah.
Like, he's wearing tights under his tights. Like, got some...
I mean,
there.
Disco always does this big comedy bump type thing where he just flails around. I mean, he's good at getting his ass kicked.
You got 2 guys in neon green and neon pink members-only jackets in the back or something. Just another fan observation. I
wonder when... I see that like super crazy tan guy back there.
Like 2 like jersey, like...
He's got a spray tan.
Kind of looks like Andy Dick.
Yes, he does.
This would have been about the time that In the Army Now came
Right, it
out.
was like the short haircut Andy Dick when he was like really
making
tan.
Andy Dick references.
Listen,
we got some Wayne's World and some In the Army Now.
I know I'm going to be ostracized for this, but I liked that movie.
In the Army Now? Oh, I liked it then, yeah.
Pauly Shore was a thing for a while.
This is prime Pauly Shore, like, this is just after, like, Son-in-Law, probably. And In the Army Now, was probably his, like, next movie after that.
Disco keeps selling the hair. I like it. I mean, that's his gimmick. He actually gets some... Sabu makes him look strong. I mean, he gets some offense on him. It doesn't make him look like a total schlub.
Disco...
No, I like it. I'm liking Disco Inferno the second time around.
Me too.
He serves his purpose.
Like
he's not bad. I can't say anything we've saw of him so far. It's like, oh, he screwed that up, or oh, he ruined that match, or
he's a good wrestler disguised in a horrible gimmick. But
right. Little Dusty
I would rather have a gimmick like this where the guy sells it, as opposed to have a gimmick that's like maybe believable.
Yeah, see, that's the thing about wrestling. Like, your gimmick can suck, but if you're good at it, you're gonna make it awesome.
Dusty Rhodes got over wearing polka dot underwear.
Right.
I mean,
despite of McMahon, yeah.
So pretty quick match here. Sabu wins with a sort of a suicide dive leg drop back into the ring. But as we've seen, Sabu's probably not done yet.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Yep. He's still dancing.
Oh, I love it.
Ooh, he's lucky he didn't land
Did
right
he just
on
powerbomb himself?
No, he sort of just...
No, he did. He powerbombed himself.
There's
the Hogan guy.
Hogan guy.
In his shorts.
He's still like, is my hair okay?
Yeah, I think he lived to the camera. He messed up my hair.
So, I mean, props to him for selling the gimmick. So, Sabu takes off. We don't know where he went, but... Oh, here he comes. Oh, jeez.
It just throws it at him.
Wonder if Disco's going to get put through the table. I kind of doubt it. I don't know. I can't even remember what happens. I watched this.
I know what happens.
I can guess.
I would almost think like this would be a thing where Disco would outsmart him and like run off, and the crowd doesn't get what they want. Here, let me get up on that table for you, and let me roll over for you. Crowd loves it. I mean, they're into this.
Why does the ref just pull him off the table?
Oh, he does get out of the way, and the table wasn't gigged well enough. Ouch.
I don't think it was gigged at all,
For
honestly.
some reason, I couldn't remember what happened there.
Yeah, no, he just goes to the back and gets an actual table.
Oh, he's pissed. He's going to go chew somebody's ass for not gigging that table right. So I wonder if we get World War III promos yet, or if we're not close enough to that.
No, I don't think we do.
No pay-per-view promos.
No one forgot to make a package for World War III. Or no one remembered.
Their promo is just an atom bomb going down somewhere. World War III. Yeah, it's happening. And by atom bomb, I don't mean Bryan Adams.
Brian Clark.
Brian Clark.
Brian Adams was crushed.
Right.
Yeah.
They were both members of Chronic.
Chronic. Me and Zach have seen Chronic in person. They're the largest human beings ever.
Yeah,
they are humongous.
Huge
they were so big.
Like, in real life, like, wrestling rings are tiny. So, like, when you see guys like
that... Luger turned.
Yeah, we forgot to talk about that. Yeah, Luger's heel now and teaming with Meng.
And by heel, we mean same sort of unlikable douchebag tweener who just so happens to be hanging out with the bad guys now.
It's the exact same gimmick. He just acts like he's friends with
douchebag tweener. I like that.
So what was the story behind that one, Grant?
I don't know. Something about steroids, roid rage. I don't know.
It would be awesome if Luger like adopted a Dungeon of Doom like gimmick because of it.
It'd be like a horrible ass.
Fucking who knows? Take your pick of bad gimmicks, but
here we go.
Oh God, we gotta listen to their freaking music. It's so bad. Oh, Buff Bagwell about got his hair singed off there.
Has there been mention of the Eddie at all yet?
I think there has, but I haven't been listening.
I didn't know if they kind of just
I think they're holding off until we get all the official.
Right, we're waiting on the footage, Zach. Be patient.
Right, because people didn't know yet.
So we get the plucky babyface team of the American males: Buff Bagwell, Scotty Riggs. They look really small compared to Meng and Luger, is something I noticed. Like, they are... Just shows you how big both of those guys really are.
Bagwell goes on to work a pretty long run with Luger.
Yeah, they had a feud, didn't
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the 9% body fat and all that crap.
Yeah,
on the total package and the.
I believe it leads up to
whole
or maybe
package.
through Starrcade '97, where Bagwell keeps winning by like count out or DQ. He beats Luger like 10 times in a row or something ridiculous by schmaz, and then Luger finally gets over clean with him, and then Riggs, of course, goes on to be part of the flock.
One tag team that I think really never got its due, and a large part of it was because of the Outsiders and their success, is Buff Bagwell and Scott Norton, Vicious and Delicious.
Oh yeah,
I thought they were a good team. Like they had good chemistry. You know, you kind of got the big guy, the big powerhouse guy, and the sort of smaller, more athletic guy. That was a good combination.
Is there, at this time, does anyone know, is there a WCW Tag Team Champion?
Yeah,
Wasn't it Harlem Heat?
I think it's Harlem Heat.
Harlem Heat just wrestled last time, though, and didn't come out with belts.
Well, we saw on Nitro, the American males were the champs.
Okay.
I'll have to do some. They aren't now. They at least didn't come out with the belts. Maybe Nick Bockwinkel held up the belts, and we're in the middle of some tournament we don't know about.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm
going to get on Wikipedia here and look it up.
And I know I mentioned it last time, but kudos to WCW for keeping tag team wrestling alive through this era.
Mm-hmm. They definitely had more tag teams
and good,
in
and
later
good,
days.
There were good tag teams too. By the time you get the Outsiders, it's them. You've got the Steiners. You've got Harlem Heat for a short amount of time there. There's some actual the Pit Crew. Can't forget.
So
they beat the American males.
So yeah, at this time, Harlem Heat's the tag champs. Yeah, they lost it to the American males and then won it back a week later.
A day later.
Or a day later? Okay,
yeah.
So they won it the next day. No.
17th?
Okay, so they switched. Now, see, the American males beat them
the day after they won it.
And then a week later, or 9 days later, Harlem Heat beat them for it.
I get it, yeah.
So there you go. There's your answer to your question.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. We're so fulfilled.
So anyway, we have a pretty average, kind of a neat heart attack type maneuver there from good teamwork from Luger and Meng. We have an incredibly average wrestling match going on.
So, the Dungeon of Doom, is it kind of like the end at this point?
It goes on longer than you would like.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it keeps going.
Yeah. Not up.
Somewhere in here, Luger fucks up selling a back body drop. I'm not sure if it's happened yet. But Scotty Riggs is getting worked over. I think it's when Scotty Riggs makes a hot tag to Bagwell, and Luger botches the hell out of something here. Pretty typical tag match. Baby faces get worked over. Hot tag. Crowd pops.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm still looking at the history of the WCW tag titles.
Oh, yeah.
In about 98, it gets hilarious.
I imagine.
So who are some of our champions at that time?
We get Lex Luger and the Giant, Sting and the Giant, Sting and Kevin Nash, Scott Hall and the Giant, Rick Steiner and Kenny Chaos.
Kenny Chaos.
Right.
And then it gets
and
then it gets legitimate again. Then it's Barry Windham and Kurt Hennig, Malenko and Benoit, Rey Mysterio and Billy Kidman.
High voltage, wasn't he?
That's right.
Raven and Saturn win it. Me and Zach saw that live at Slamboree.
Yeah.
I marked out for that, man. I was super happy to see Raven and Saturn doing well in the company.
I have a weird memory of being at a concession stand buying a hot dog when Rick Steiner was coming to the ring.
Yes, everyone was barking. Everyone was barking.
Then we started barking when we were getting our hot dogs.
Oh my god! So what was Zach remembered the Kenny Chaos was a member of High Voltage.
Right.
Yeah.
Who was the other guy?
The Jerry Sags type of thing.
It was like Ronnie Rage or something.
Yeah, I was like, I think you're close.
Or Rodney Rage, or it was another alliterative.
Robbie Rage. It's Robbie Rage.
Robbie Rage. Okay.
High Voltage. Yeah, they were a good Saturday night staple.
Yeah, I mean, just mid-card tag team. Do you remember the Public Enemy knockoff called Disorderly Conduct?
Yes. Yes.
They were on WCW Worldwide almost exclusively. So here we go. No, he cuts him off. I like it. Actual tag team wrestling. Oh, he outsmarted him. So hot tag to Bagwell.
That looks good. See, this is who you put Luger in against.
Here we go. Nope. He didn't screw that up. Yeah, I think it's excellent.
Luger and Bagwell look good together.
Yeah, they have a little chemistry in there.
And I imagine that's probably why they end up doing that 45-match series later on.
Oh, Jimmy Hart shenanigans.
Wait. When did I miss the Jimmy Hart's a part of the Dungeon of Doom?
Oh, yeah, we
he
didn't
turned
mention that either.
No, by the way, everyone's a member of the Dungeon of Doom now. By the way,
heel turns.
Everyone joined the Dungeon of Doom except for Kevin Sullivan is now Hulk Hogan. They swapped souls, or there was a whole big thing. I don't know.
So Luger wins via the torture rack. Bagwell is small enough that Luger can make the torture rack look really good.
Yeah. Yeah,
is that the main event?
He's gotten the giant up in it, and it's impressive that he gets him up.
But he
he's
can't.
Just kind of jostling him a little bit. It looks to be more annoying than painful.
Right.
The spittoon?
No, that's his champagne bucket.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought it was a cauldron.
I'm having trouble following this episode for some reason.
So we get, the main event for this card is going to be the Halloween Havoc recap. So that's the last match.
That was the main event.
So everybody sit back, relax, and enjoy shenanigans.
They
If I were Heenan, I would be so freaking pissed off
that
right
stuff
now.
stains your clothes.
He just blasted him in the face with silly string.
He actually is pissed off.
Oh, we got the footage. Here we go.
Finally, glad they got it in just in time.
Yeah.
That 6-man tag we had planned for the main event, that's not going to happen now. We're showing the footage.
We got to.
I was never a fan of this cheap.
So yeah, we get to see the heel turns here.
The Giant stole Hogan's belt, by the way, which I'm always a fan of.
Oh yeah. So Hogan wins the Giant wins by DQ. So he wins the match,
but not the belt.
I see.
But he steals the belt.
That's why the title was vacated.
I see.
We'll see the outcome of that.
So Giant wins by DQ because at the time Jimmy Hart interfered, he was still Hulk Hogan's manager, I assume.
And he waffles him, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and Hogan
hurt.
immediately no-sells it.
How do you know Hart did it?
Let's say last he knew he was just holding the belt.
Oh no, the bear hug.
And like I said, he doesn't even elevate him. I mean, they just worked the match, so it's not like he's fresh.
He's just kind of standing there.
Yeah, and Hogan's tall. Hogan's not as tall as the Giant, but he's tall, so it's hard to make the bear hug look good like this. At least Sullivan's hitting him. It's like, yeah, hold him.
Giving him really shitty karate chops to the back.
Well, look at his fucking outfit. What is that?
Oh, here comes... Okay, so we get to see Luger's heel turn, too.
What happened to Savage? Why
Hart waffling with the belt.
This is what a Yeti looks like.
This is
kids.
a Yeti, everybody. Not a mummy, a Yeti. Or a Yeti.
You know,
Look at the guy in the purple shirt just like, what? Like, he doesn't understand it either.
You know, like, being in the crowd, you probably don't.
No, you have no clue what's happening.
Here we go. He just Herman Munsters him.
God, what the
Jesus.
fucking hell.
Like, who told him to do this?
Like, people in the crowd are so confused. If you just look at their faces.
Nobody understands anything.
They're like, what the hell's going on? Yeah, this is the end of Hulkamania, by the way. I don't know if you knew this or not. But
Oh, yeah.
He's like, well, shit, that was easy.
yeah, fuck you, Hogan.
There's actually more people cheering than anything.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, cool. Yeah, heard him.
And the Yeti mummy still just...
Okay, are we live again?
Yeah, we're back live.
Okay. Still says Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, well, he never gives it up for that long.
Yeah.
He'll get it back. He'll get his win back, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like a good belt-stealing angle myself.
And we finally got Jimmy Hart talking for people that aren't that great at talking instead of
Yeah.
talking for Hogan, whose
Makes sense.
main, draw is the look and the interviews.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy can talk.
Yeah, no, he's a great manager. In the modern era or 80s and later, he's one of the best for sure. One of the things that I always kind of notice the WCW belt is it's insane. Later to be known as the Big Gold Belt. Like, that is the coolest belt in wrestling.
It's pretty intricate. There's a lot going on.
Still being used today, isn't it?
No, it's retired now.
Sullivan is making fun of Hogan by faking a seizure,
Oh,
by the
I was
way.
like-
That's pretty awesome.
It's funny.
And so one of the things that I always notice with the belt is just like
he just keeps going.
is what it looks like on people. And it looks so small, like on the Giant.
Nope. Don't pull the mic away from me, Shivani. I like that spot that the Giant does when he's getting interviewed. He grabs the mic and yanks their arm up to him and they sell it. I do like that. I mean, pretty much just Hogan because
Yeah.
Right.
There's literally no one. Just Savage and Hogan are the only ones left on the other side,
Yeah.
the babyface side.
The guy in the background making
Luger.
fun of Luger.
Luger titty dance.
Oh, he's like your stereotypical NASCAR.
I like
hillbilly.
heel Luger better.
Yeah.
It's still not great, but
Because he's not all that likable as a face.
He's not likable at all. So he makes a good heel.
Right. Jimmy Hart doing a victory lap. Luger is freaking jacked, though, at this time. Holy cow.
The only thing in this ring that doesn't make sense, as always, is that imp Kevin Sullivan.
He's actually kind of funny right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give him
hilarious.
that. That's the most entertaining he's been to this point. So that's it.
Having a stroke.
That was the main event to the show, was an interview with the Giant, Kevin Sullivan, Lex Luger, and Jimmy Hart, where the Giant has put out an open challenge for next week on Nitro. So we'll see how that turns out. So,
What do we? Okay, so we're in November next time.
Yep, next time we're in November. Not Halloween Havoc. World War III takes place in November, right?
Right. Yeah,
Right.
it's a November picture.
Probably the end of the month.
Yeah, and then Starcade's end of December. That show is interesting. I would have liked to see them make it an hour and a half show if they were going to recap the pay-per-view so much. Maybe like a post-pay-per-view special event. Would have liked to see some more wrestling and.
I would have liked to have seen more Horseman.
Well, this is the only episode that, for the last few, that it would have made sense to have Hogan come out and talk, and he doesn't. I don't know.